Blog Talk Radio.
What's up, everybody? My name is Clifton Pettyjohn, and you are listening to Transformation Radio, where we transform lives through purposeful conversations. Have you ever gotten to a place in life where you find yourself asking, what now? That's right, what now? Circumstances and situations have happened. You feel as if you've been hit from the left and the right. You feel as if nothing that you do ends up working out the way that you desire for it to work out, and you just don't know what you need to do right now. The reality is we've all been there. And sometimes we've been there without the tools, techniques, and strategies to help us make effective decisions to produce the future that we desire. You don't have to do this alone anymore. I invite you to listen to my podcast. That's right, my name is Clifton Pettyjohn. I'm a purpose strategist, author, transformation coach, and spiritual leader. And I host the What Now podcast. And the What Now podcast is simply conversations that teach us how to effectively face life's most difficult moments. That's right, life's most difficult moments. So, if you're interested in hearing the podcast, I encourage you to visit my website, www.cliftonpettyjohn.com. Again, www.cliftonpettyjohn.com. There's a tab for the podcast, and you can pick your favorite platform. We're available on multiple platforms, so you can pick your favorite platform, pick the platform, subscribe to the podcast, listen, comment, and share. All right? So I encourage you again, make sure that you are listening to the What Now podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Transformation Radio. That's right, Transformation Radio, where we transform lives through purposeful conversations, regardless of how uncomfortable and unpopular those conversations are. My name is Clifton Pettyjohn. I'm a purpose strategist, author, transformation coach, spiritual leader, host of Transformation Radio. I provide tools and strategies to transition you from a life of merely existing to living a life full of abundance and purpose. Now, that does not mean that your life will not come without any problems or anything that will arise, throughout our journey. But it does mean that we begin to look at things from a different vantage point with an understanding that what we have identified as problems are simply opportunities for us to dig deep within ourselves and find the solutions that have been invested in us by our Creator, all right? I want to thank you for joining us on tonight. Listen, I want to rewind a little bit. Let's go reverse real quick. Thank you guys for your feedback from last night's show. Last night's show, we simply reminded the creatives what the Eternal has said concerning us for 2020. So if you did not hear that, I want you to visit www.cliftonpettyjohn.com/Transformation Radio. Check out last night's broadcast as well as previous broadcasts. But before you do that, I don't want you to click off of this broadcast. You know why, guys? We have a great guest with us on tonight. He's back for part 2 of the conversation. We had an amazing conversation with him probably about a month, maybe 2 months ago. I can't remember how long ago, but we had a great conversation with him. The conversation was so great that we did not get to everything that we wanted to cover, so we're going to have some fun on tonight and finish that conversation, all right? Just as I always do, I like to remind everybody that this show is not my show. This is our show. Without each and every one of you, there'd be no show. There'd be no purpose for me sitting behind this microphone and talking to someone else, recording that conversation if you guys were not listening and engaging in the conversation. I love your emails, your text messages, your phone calls, all of the things that you guys give for your feedback. I appreciate it. I love it. But I also want to extend the opportunity for you guys to call in live. We don't have many live callers, and I want to talk to you guys. Our guests want to have that encounter with you guys where we can have a conversation about everything that we are discussing. So if at any time throughout the show something is said that resonates with you, something is said that, you are going through yourself or that, you have some insight on, we welcome you to engage with us. Now, here's what I always like to say. Transformation Radio is a platform for people from various backgrounds and belief systems. Everybody does not believe the same. Everybody was not raised the same. Everybody did not experience the same trauma that we all have experienced, and some people do not interpret their trauma the way that some of us have interpreted our trauma. So what we always want to make sure that we do is that we present a safe space or a secured environment for individuals to be comfortable enough to express themselves respectfully. Therefore, when you call in, if it is something you disagree with, we understand that you disagree. However, we want you to disagree in a manner that is respectful of everyone involved. Because when we start to disagree in a manner that is disrespectful, then I'm going to have to exercise the power of the button. I'm going to have to hang up on you. And I don't want that. We haven't had that yet, and I'm grateful that we haven't had that yet. That shows me how open-minded and willing to learn our audience is, all right? And as I said, we have an amazing guest on tonight, and I want you guys to join the conversation. You can join the conversation at any time by dialing 516-387-1756. 516-387-1756. All right? So now, here's what's up. I'm not going to prolong the hour. We're going to get to our guest. We're going to dive into the conversation. And as I said, if you guys want to get engaged in the conversation, you are welcome. So without further ado, I want each and every one of you to help me welcome back to the show the one and only Mr. Derrick Gordon, a.k.a. DG. Hey, Derrick, how are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you? Thanks for having me back.
I'm doing well.
I didn't realize
We're glad
it was 2 months. I didn't realize it was 2 months since the last time I was on. It felt like it was like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, time has just flown. I think, with everything we have going on in the world now, some days seem to be running into each other. But, yeah, I believe it was.
Right.
It was either about a month and a half or 2 months ago.
No, wow, I didn't know it was that long. Well, I'm glad to be back. Thank you.
Yeah, man, yeah. Definitely glad to have you back. Now, here's how we're going to do it. I usually do my icebreaker question, and you've already answered that icebreaker question. So I have another icebreaker question that I'm going to ask you, and then we're going to play. I have 2 games that we can play. I'm going to let you choose which game we can play, and then we'll segue into the conversation.
All right. Now, the icebreaker,
right.
I'm trying to remember which one that was again. What do we do?
The icebreaker one, I believe, the one that I do with everybody is the if you had superpowers, if you could have any superpower, what would your superpower be? So that's the one I usually do. So here's the one I have for you on tonight. If you had to delete all but 3 apps on your iPhone, which ones would you keep?
3 apps I would keep. Oh, that's easy. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. No. Go back. Instagram, Facebook, and text message, because that's considered an app too, though. No?
Right.
Text messages.
So what about YouTube though? You're doing your YouTube videos. You're gonna let that go?
Yeah. That's tough. I might have to, because Twitter. I mean, Twitter's Twitter. It's cool. I mean, it's okay. But like if end of the world and I need something to watch too, 100% is Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. I still love Facebook too. So
I feel you.
Those two.
I feel you. Yeah, because you could still go. You still could do your videos on Facebook as well too. So I get it. Yeah, it's a crazy question though.
It makes you think.
Right. Because sometimes you think you think that's an easy question, but then when you think about it, you're like, well, wait a minute, what would I be giving up? So yeah.
Right. Yeah. Now you had me thinking that one. I had to like really stop myself and like, all right, let me take my time to like really think like, okay, what I'm gonna really need if I only had 3 apps. So yeah, it's definitely
right.
For sure.
Okay, now here's the 2 games we can choose from before we get into the conversation. One game is called Would You Rather, or the other game is called If You Could.
Both sound good, though. I'm not even going to lie to you. Yeah. We'll do Would You Rather. We'll do that.
Okay. So here's what's up. I have 10 Would You Rather questions. You can pass on 2 of them if you need to. All right?
All
right. So would you rather travel back in time to meet your ancestors or travel to the future to meet your descendants?
Travel back in time. And the reason why I say that is because, with black people, slavery and all that, to be able to meet people who, in a sense, paved the way for our generation will be, incredible. So that, by all means, that's a given for me. That's,
definitely.
When it comes to stuff like that, you just don't put nothing past that. So I would definitely go back in time.
Okay. The second one, would you rather lose all of your money or all of your pictures?
All my pictures.
Yeah. I think what
they're trying to get. Because at the end of the day, like, I could just walk around and people going to be able to see me. So it's not like, when it comes to that, it's like, all right, I'll lose all my pictures, but at the end of the day, people can see me in person and still get the same thing that they'll get from the picture. So it's like, that one would make some people think, though. I can definitely see that. But for me personally, how I am, the pictures right away. I don't care about those.
Yeah, I would say the money part too. But I know some people that would say pictures because they would think about memories and all of those things. I'm thinking about money and living. You know what I'm saying? That's how I would think.
That's what I said. That's like a no-brainer. Like, you're about to lose all this money over pictures. Like, nah, not me at least. Not me. I'm definitely
right. Okay. Now, would you rather have the ability to be invisible or the ability to fly?
Probably invisible. And the reason why I say that is because here's where things could get a little crazy, too. Because no telling what type of stuff that I'll be doing, where I would be going. So it's like, in a sense, like, I can literally go anywhere and no one will be able to see me. I don't really care. The flying part would be cool too, but like I think when it comes to being invisible, oh man, you'll be able to do so many things and see so much that if you were visible, you wouldn't be able to do. But I would take full advantage of that. Definitely being invisible.
Yeah, the flying. Yeah, I think the flying thing would like be fun in the beginning, but then it would be like for me it would get old after a while. Then, okay,
it'll be cool. Don't get me wrong. Like you can get to point A to point B like that, but it's like in a sense like being invisible. Like you can literally. Oh man, that's. Yeah, it almost kind of reminds me of the movie The Hollow Man, almost. Like how he was invisible doing all that. It's just like that, but my version of it, it'd be crazy. It'll be crazy. Yeah, it'll be crazy. Definitely.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, would you rather live where it only snows or live where the temperature never falls below 100 degrees? What? Oh,
yeah, what? Oh,
wow.
See, if I may have to, because you know what? At least if it's 100 degrees, I can put on the AC and all of that.
Right.
The snow, I'm just and that's one of the reasons why I moved from New Jersey, because of the snow. It's snow constantly out there, and it was just, I didn't like it. Like, I'm more of a, beach guy, no shirt on type of guy. Weather, that's me. So, 100. That's hot too. Like, so it's every day. Yeah,
every day.
I'll suffer with that. I mean, the less clothes, the better, as they always say. So for me, it would just be shirts and some shoes. So I'll be good with that, to be honest. Yeah, I'll rock out with the 100 degrees.
All right, I feel you.
It'll be ways to get around the heat. So it's like,
Yeah, it's ways to get around the heat, but that snow, man. I don't like driving in the snow. I don't like any of those things.
Yeah, living in snow all year round? Nah, I can't.
Every day, yeah. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, nah, that's crazy.
Okay. Would you rather always be slightly late or super early?
Oh, super early.
Okay.
Just because, in general, I've learned over time, of course. I didn't start really learning until when I've gotten older, that it's always good to be respectful of other people's time,
Yes.
And being, my father always told me, my father and my mom, at least if you're not 15, be 30 minutes late. Be an hour, 15, 30 minutes early, be an hour early. As long as you're there, then you don't have to worry about rushing. Because I've been, at times for me, there have been times where I would be going to a place and the meeting starts in like 10 minutes, and then I'm practically rushing trying to get there. No, I don't like living like that. So I'd rather be super early than get there right when it's about to begin. So yeah, that would be my choice. I'd rather get there earlier. Then I can relax. I don't got to worry about rushing or anything like that.
Right.
So
now, would you rather give up your iPhone or your computer?
Well, see, it all depends on the computer, because I had a MacBook. So when you really look at it, it's like, I'm giving up my phone. And if iPhone or a MacBook, because I can do everything that I'm doing on my MacBook on my phone.
Yep.
So it's like, for me, it's like, I completely give up my phone for sure, because I can text, I can watch video, I can do everything. Like, it's nothing that I can't do. As far as I know, there's nothing, as far as I know, I think I can do just about everything on a computer than on a phone. So, I'd rather keep the MacBook. Now, if it's not a MacBook and just a computer, so that's what I'm saying. If you have to be so much specific, if it's just a normal computer, 100%
right.
my phone. But if it's a MacBook, I'll choose the MacBook. Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather be the funniest or the smartest person in the room? See, I'm somewhat a little bit of both, so it's like,
I'll probably say the smartest because sometimes being just way too funny. Sometimes for me, sometimes it could just be too much. You'd be making jokes and it may not be that funny, to be honest. So it's like I don't want to be that guy that I'm always silly. Like, you know, don't get me wrong, which I am now, but it's like silly 24/7. Nah, because there's times where it's like, okay, it's a time and place for that. So yeah, it can be silly. That's like being in a meeting or something like that. You making jokes being so nah. Definitely, I'm the smartest guy in the room. Definitely.
Feel you. All right, now last one. Would you rather be a superhero or the world's best chef?
Superhero. That's a good one. That's a no-brainer. For me, personally, that's a no-brainer. Superhero, 100%. Chef.
All right. Okay.
Nah, that was a no-brainer. Chef? What? Nah, that's who came up with that?
You were like those two. You were like those two don't even compare.
Yeah, that doesn't even when you said that, I'm like, that's, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are people out there who would pick chef, but, for me, it's, the superhero thing. That's a given. Don't get me wrong, I mean, being a chef also can be pretty cool as well, like being able to, because I watch the Food Network channel a lot, so, and it's like the food that they make is just like, looks amazing. And I wish, I could do that. But if I had one of the two, superhero, hands down. Definitely.
I feel you. Okay. So now, the last time you were on the show, we covered a lot. We covered a lot of things.
We did.
Tonight, what I want to start with tonight is I want to hear your thoughts on the current state of our country and world, what we're going through right now. What are your thoughts on everything that we're going through right now?
It's a lot, to be honest. And when I talk to my friends, I tell them, I said, the only thing, when you look at everything that's going on, the only thing that's missing is zombies. Literally, that's the only thing that's missing. Right. And it's almost like something out of a movie. And, when you really look at it, we don't know how long this is going to be going on for. I mean, they're talking about possibly in June and it's like what I always say and how I go about it. I don't really focus too much on, oh my gosh, when is it gonna end? I'm more of like I like to just stay in the present moment and stay happy and stay positive because in a sense no one can really predict like, okay, it's gonna last, we're gonna be doing this till July or like you can't really predict that. Like so it's like why would I put my attention towards it now? Don't get me wrong, I never, ever would have thought something like this would actually be happening because this is something that you would see like when you watch, those crazy movies, zombie movies on TV or, it's one movie I was watching on Netflix and that's very similar to this as far as like a virus spreading. And I just can't remember the name of it, but it was good. And it's crazy how it could just start with maybe one or a couple people and how it could just spread like that. Now, to me, that's amazing of how, like, something like that can just happen. Not in a good way amazing, but just, like, shocking, like, wow. That's incredible. But what I do, especially throughout this time, all you can do is just try to stay as busy as possible. I'm super, super, super grateful that I play video games because I can't imagine just watching movies. I'm a movie guy. I love watching movies, especially scary movies and all. But just every minute of the day, it would drive me crazy a little bit. So I'm actually glad that because it's all about keeping your sanity. And I work out too, which is another thing that's perfect for me. But not everybody's like that. I know I work out and not everybody works out. So I think it's best for everyone to stay in touch with friends, loved ones, because that's the best thing that you can really do right now. Because you can go outside. It's not like you can go out to the bars or the clubs or to the mall or anything like that. I mean, if you do go out, you're only really going to the grocery store and you're going back home. But other than that, are the essentials. But you're not really doing anything crazy where you're just hanging out and around friends. So, the best thing that we can do is just continue to, keep in touch with, just as I said earlier, loved ones and just take it day by day, and not, try not to drive yourself crazy. So.
And I like how you talked about focusing on the positive, because you kind of answered my next two questions as well. I was going to ask you, what exactly are you doing during this time to keep yourself, in that positive manner? You listed exactly what it is that you're doing, because I was watching, I can't remember what I was watching, but they were talking about how a lot of people's depression levels are heightening during these times, and the need for them to find some de-stressors during times like this, because I know a lot of people, you hear so much, especially when we have access to social media. The news is talking about it. Everybody's talking about it many times from that negative sense, which has caused a lot of people to go into a state of panic. So you kind of need those things to help you relax a little bit. And you were talking about playing the video games and working out and, all that you were doing. So now you're working out. Let's talk about health as well, because this is also a time where a lot of people are home, and we can tend to pick up on some habits that aren't necessarily healthy. How do you maintain those healthy habits? Because it's easy to sit at home and snack and overeat and do all of those things. How do you maintain, your healthy choices that you make?
Your mental game has to be strong, that's for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit up here and say, I've just been eating chicken and rice and vegetables every day. Don't get me wrong. I was, on the phone with my mom a couple of days ago, and I was telling her, it's gotten to the point that it's in a sense like I've, been acting, like, a kid again, with eating. Like, I haven't had cereal in years. And, like, the fact that, throughout this whole time that I was, like, I'm literally, like, a snack for me is like a bowl of cereal or something like that, or some cinnamon or some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So it's like, usually, like, I won't have any of that stuff. But don't get me wrong, that's not all I'm eating. Like, I'm still making sure, like, I, eat my veggies and, rice and chicken and stuff like that. But, yeah, it's like, because it's almost like you have so much time on your hands, and I think that's what it is. For me personally, I have so much time. So everything is starting to become a routine almost. It's like, okay, I'm waking up. First thing, as soon as I get up, I meditate. And then after I meditate, I work out. After I work out, then I eat. Then after I eat, I either, it's like I'm debating, do I want to watch a movie or do I want to play video games? So it's very weird because I'm not used to just staying, inside. Don't get me wrong, I can be a homebody at times, but not for this long. And I think it's worse for some people because you're not, in a sense, around other people. And the only time, you FaceTime people and Zoom and all, but that's not the same as being in person with somebody. It's just not the same. So I would either decide between that and then, okay, do I need to go to the grocery store? So it's kind of like, for me, it's the same exact thing over and over every day. But for me, I just look at it, I'm just, like, there's only so much you can do. So it's like, why stress? Like, why over? I don't watch the news. I'm be honest with you. The only time I really get updates on stuff is when that little CNN notification pops up on my phone. But other than that, I'm not just sitting there watching the news. Because some of the stuff that they're putting on there, to be honest with you, they shouldn't be putting on there. Like how they had some people talking about, oh my gosh, this daughter, she called her mom right before she passed, and here's the conversation. Why would you put that? Why would you? I just don't understand that. So it's like that's one of the reasons why I don't watch the news. Because in a sense, it's like I feel personally as if like they're trying to scare people, and it's like, don't get me wrong, I understand you want people to stay in their homes and things like that, but a lot of the stuff to me that they're putting out there is just, it would drive anybody crazy. Like, and it's like I'm not gonna put myself in that state of mind as far as, especially when I can't control that. All I can do is control what I'm doing. Like, so I'd rather, stay in that mindset than to focus on, okay, when is this going to be over? when am I going to be able to hang out with my friends? Like, I'm thinking because I just never was that way. That, you know, because just like I said, I think that just everyone's different, but I just never was that way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, especially out this time. I was joking with a friend, and I said, "Oh my gosh, the porn websites have skyrocketed. I'm sure of it."
Absolutely.
And we just sit there and laugh because nobody's talking about it, but it's 100% true. If you don't have a loved one at home, by all means,
right.
Those websites and memberships are going through the roof. Oh my God, I'm surprised. Could you imagine if they had like a stock market porn? What? Oh my God! It'll be insane.
That would be the only stock that's going up right now.
It'll be insane. Oh my! And no one is because no one wants to say it because they feel embarrassed enough. But there's nothing to feel embarrassed about because literally that's what a lot of people are doing right now. Or unless people just and have loved ones and they're having sex or whatever. But yeah, I think about it and I just laugh because it's insane that that we're at this time that this is what we have to resort to. So I mean it's just that's like you said, that's a stress reliever. You gotta find things to
stress reliever, definitely.
You have to find things to keep you busy. So it's like I don't know, like just I said, I'm sure not everyone plays video games, but for me, I'm so glad that I do because if it was just working out and watching movies, it'll be boring, but it won't be stressful. It'll be more boring than anything else. But you have to find something to do to keep you busy. And I'm not saying it to embarrass anyone, but hey, porn is a great way to just block out everything that's going on and focus on something else. I'm gonna be so honest, and that's very blunt. I know it is, but I'm just being honest. At the end of the day, I'm being super honest because for me, I'm just telling you how it is.
Well, I think that that's the nature of this show. The nature of this show is that I always say we have these conversations, regardless of how unpopular or uncomfortable the conversations is because somebody wants to say it, somebody needs to hear it, and somebody needs to understand they don't have to be ashamed of it. So that's why I appreciate having guests on that are willing to talk freely about that because that's helping get a lot of us through. And the reality is a lot of people won't verbally say that. But they're sitting at home right now saying, yeah, he right, though. He right. So, you know they are, though. They are.
No,
they're going to push rewind. If they're listening to the replay of it, they're going to push rewind and just keep laughing and laughing and laughing because they know, that's what's pulling me through.
Very true. I'm just telling you how it is. I'm not ashamed at first. Yeah. I was for a little bit when I first started, but when I really started to think everybody is home right now. You telling me people aren't just doing anything? What? Yeah. Especially people who were active. So you telling me people who are active, they just all of a sudden they just celibate. They just not gonna do anything until this is over. Are you kidding? Nah. No way.
Absolutely.
That's what I said. It's honestly, it's a way to just get your mind off of what's going on. It literally is, and I'm saying it in a funny way, but it's very true though. It gets your mind just off something different, So, that's just my 2 cents. Though. I mean, everybody, of course, don't do what they want, but it's the honest truth because at the end of the day, we don't know how long this is going to last. We already have to do a month. Mm-hmm. So when you look at it, what is the 6th already? So it's not like it's the 23rd, 24th. We have the whole month of this. So it's you have to find something to do. You really have to. Something that's going to keep you busy. So whatever that is. So, yeah.
Now you also hit something. A lot of my guests talk about this on the show too. And how it means something different to everybody because a lot of time in our culture we hear this word and we've been taught that's not for our people. You talked about waking up and you meditate. What does meditation look like to you?
Say the beginning part one more time.
I was saying that, sure, you were talking about how you wake up and you meditate, and I was talking about how in our culture, a lot of times when you hear the word meditate, it has a negative connotation. And some people say, oh, that's just white people. We don't do that stuff. You know,
I've never heard that.
What does meditate? Oh, for real? Listen,
yeah, I've never heard
that's
for white people.
That.
What?
Yes.
I've never heard that.
It is a lot of
black people who meditate. Like, yeah.
But it's a lot of people that grew up and were taught that and believe that, and
Correct.
They hear that word meditation and it has a negative connotation to them. So what I've done a lot is I want to introduce meditation to like all cultures. And what I've learned from the show is that meditation looks different to everybody. So I always like to ask the guests, what does meditation look like to you, or what is meditation to you?
Well, to respond to what you said at the beginning, I've never heard, or at least no one has never said that to me as far as it's for white people. But I can kind of see what they mean, because in a sense, I didn't grow up with meditation. As far as my parents teaching me that stuff, and as far as in a black family, like I never had friends who talked about it or anything. So I can kind of see what they're saying too. But that's also a big judgment as well. Like, I don't.
Absolutely.
I really don't know if I really, necessarily believe that. But for me, it's all different forms and ways of meditation. Like for me, like my meditation is more of, with law of attraction and visualizing and, seeing goals and things like that. And, there are meditation forms as far as, just being in a calm state, just not thinking about anything, just, whether you're listening to the wind or whatever, you got some music playing. It's different forms. But for me, like it helps me because in a sense, it excites me for, my future, per se. Just as I said, and it's not a lot of people who know about the law of attraction, but by all means, it is an absolute game changer. And I've been using it for probably 3 years now. And, it just changed just my whole way of thinking and, putting, positive thoughts into the universe and just seeing what comes back is just, it's incredible. Like there are things that have happened that has just been so shocking, whether it's, financially or, situations happening that is just like, wow, I didn't know how that even happened or how this person was even brought into my life. And it's more about it's just your way of thinking. Like everything is how you think. And you're using the law of attraction, whether you're thinking negative or positive. So you can really look back and sit back and look at your life and you can say, oh, now I know why this happened. Or I know why that happened, because your way of thinking and who you surrounded yourself around. And it's for me, it's like a drug. Like I can't go a day without doing that. I remember I would, be traveling on a plane and I would be sitting and, I would act as if I'm asleep, but I'm not asleep. I'm sitting there meditating because I'm like, I have to do this. Like this is just something that's like, because it's good. Just as I said, I like to visualize things, and it makes me so happy because in a sense, it's like I'm in my own world. And I think especially now, I think people for sure need to take a look into that because especially now, it'll help soothe a lot of things and just, get you in a better state, in my opinion. But that just takes the person and, the person taking the time to actually willing and wanting to do it. But, it's definitely not just for white people.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And, I've heard it so many times in different circles. As a life coach, some of the people come in and that's one of the things I ask them. I'm like, have you ever meditated? And, that's a lot of the responses I get sometimes. But meditation has been big for me. It has been big for me. It helps me stay centered. It helps me stay focused. And, it reminds me of a hope and, like you said, a future. It has made life so much brighter and broader for me and gave me a better understanding of myself and, how the world works in a sense. So that's why I always like to get everybody's interpretation of it and see what does it mean to you. So that's great. Like I said, I believe we need that, like you said right now, because we need all forms of de-stressors. Now, I want to talk to you about advice. What is one of the greatest, or what is the best advice that anyone has ever given you?
Be careful who you surround yourself around. Hands down, because when I came out publicly, there were so many people who I was with and hanging with that was just using me just because of my name, or was just trying to use me to sleep with me, whatever. It's just you have to be careful, literally, with who you surround yourself around, regardless of, whether you have a lot of money or not. In general, you have to be careful, because not everyone has your best interest. Not everyone does, and I came to realize that, and I lost, my best friend last year, and he was somebody who, by all means, I don't think anybody would be able to replace him. I'm gonna be very honest with you, because he was always there for me through thick and thin. When the stuff didn't work out for basketball, he was there. The amount of times I was crying on the phone, he was always there. And it's not everyone's like that. People you can call at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning and they'll pick up. So just always be careful who you surround yourself around, because you may be trying to get here, and those people you have around you is still doing the same exact thing. And I've witnessed that. I would go back home. I would be in college, and then I would go back home to see my family, and I would see the same people doing the same exact thing, which is nothing. And it's like, yeah, no. And they're waiting for you to come up so they can be right there. No. Like, that's not how it is. That's not how it's going to work with me. So I would say, yes, definitely be careful. Surround yourself around good people at all times. If there's a person that's not on the same vibration as you and thinking like you, then don't surround yourself. I had to cut a lot of people off because of that, because I'm thinking positive and wanting to do this and that, and yet they're thinking nothing but negativity. And it's like, I'm not, like, it's going to mess with your frequency. And it's like, I'll be, excuse my language, I'll be damned. I'll let somebody mess with my vibration and what I have going on. So, it's and that just comes, as I said, with experience in the past, that I've learned a lot that, you always have to be careful, because there will be people who will just use you just for whatever it may be, So, yeah, that's my number. That I always tell people that. I mean, besides, people ask me about, advice on coming out and stuff like that, but that's something that I always tell people. Just, watch yourself. Be careful.
Yeah, that's so true. I really don't think that there's any greater advice that could be given, because I honestly believe that I've heard this said so many times. You show me the 5 people that you're closest to, and I can tell you where you guys are going. I've heard people say that before,
just like that.
But yeah, I mean, it is so true, so true. Now, you talked about, how you had that experience, especially when you came out. How did somebody come to you and tell you, hey, man, too many people trying to connect with you, you need to be careful with this one? Or was it something that you begin to sit back and observe yourself and assess?
Oh, well, somebody told me that, and then I had to sit back and observe. A good friend of mine, Wade Davis, who, he came out when he was in the NFL, and, we clicked. And, as time moved forward, even before I came out, he told me this before I came out, because he knew the type of attention that I was going to draw. And, I listened to him, and I seen it for myself as far as, there are people who I talked to before I came out and around that time who I don't even talk to anymore, who I thought that, we were going to be friends and for however long and this and that. That's not the case. I don't even talk to those people. That's a lot of people. I don't even talk to them anymore. And it's what I always say is it's almost like, if you don't, I never like to chase after people. I feel like if you have to chase to have a conversation with a friend, I just feel like it should be 50-50, to be honest. If you have to constantly, don't get me wrong now, I know people get busy. I understand all of that, but people make time for what they find important. And if somebody's important to you, trust me, you're going to want to see how that person is doing and all those things. And, yeah, I've learned that. I wouldn't say the hard way, but it took me a while to really grasp, like, who's really, who really has my back and wants me to do well in life. So, yeah, my friend Wayne Davis told me that, and that's the best advice I've heard, and it makes total sense now. So now that I gotten older.
Absolutely. Now I want to hit the question. Okay. You and Darren Young, Fred.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, this is it. This is the big one.
Here we go.
This is the big one.
Here we go.
So you guys did a Facebook video, and you guys were talking about your own personal YouTube video. You're talking about your own personal experience with dating, and you made the statement. I think both of you guys were talking about dating outside of your race, and
that was the title.
People heard it.
Yeah, they did.
Yep. People heard it, and when they heard what y'all said, they just could not believe that you guys had so much hatred for your culture.
The fact that
some of the things. Go ahead.
I'm gonna wait for you to be done, and I'm gonna respond to that.
Okay. Some of the things that I heard were like, and I try to be. I'm a person that tries to step back from a situation and see both sides of it to gain understanding from both sides. But some of the logic that some of the people were going through, I'm a part of a group of businessmen, and that post came into that group, and I'm still trying to understand how that post got into the group concerning it. And the logic behind some of the people's thinking was like, that's not even what they said. Like, I was just confused by it. I want to give you an opportunity to, talk about the situation that took place.
It was, first and foremost, when I was going to do the video with Darren, we sat and talked before we did the video, and I remember telling him, I'm like, this is going to be a big deal, and the reason why is because nobody is talking about this. Like, you have Jason Collins, who his boyfriend is white. Wade Davis, his boyfriend is white. Michael Sam, his boyfriend, who he came out with when he came out publicly, was white. And me and, a couple other people. And, people were always asking, like, why? And so I told him, I said, listen, this is going to hit home for a lot of people, but I think it's best for us to make this video because people was always asking why, but no one was saying anything. So I was like, you know what? It's been a couple of years. I came out in 2014. I felt that, it's the perfect time to do it. And why not do it with somebody who, is in a similar situation as me, who I'm very good friends with. So, I didn't, honestly, after the post and, after I uploaded it, I didn't really think anything of it until, like, the feedback and how, like, it was going from this platform to, like, I knew people was going to talk about it, but when people was, like, really, like, blowing it up and it was all over, it kind of shocked me a little bit. But I kind of, like, figured that, this is not an easy topic, this is honestly a hot topic to talk about. And one of the things that people don't understand, it's not, for one, the fact that people would even ever discredit my loyal and love to my own community is beyond, like, like, how dare you? Like, who do you think you are? Like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, you must not know where I grew up at. Like, the fact that that's like, in a way, that's like a slap in the face to, like, my mother, my father, like my cousins, my brothers. Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, what? I love my community. Since I don't want to, and it's not even don't. It's more of like when people say, why aren't you attracted? There are plenty of black guys who I find beautiful. I always say that I will always give credit where credit is due. There could be an Asian guy who will be attractive. I'll be like, oh my gosh, he's good looking. Now, when I say since I'm not attracted to them physically, what I mean by that is if I got into bed with them, there wouldn't be anything there because that's not an attraction. That's not like a go-to. That's almost in the sense like I will be forcing that to happen.
Right.
Like some people think that I chose to go with white people instead of black. And it's like, are you kidding me? No, that's not the case. If everything would have happened, if it was the other way around, first of all, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. If this was around and, I was with black guys and Darren was with black guys, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But some of the people that is, you can tell, I'm like, okay, so you support me for coming out, but you don't support me because who I love. I'm like, we already go through enough in our community that this is what you're going to focus on, who I'm with. Like, that's what you're going to put your main focus. Out of all the stuff that we have to deal with on a daily basis, this is what you're going to worry about. You want me to sit up here and explain. They want me to keep explaining, and it's almost in a sense, first and foremost, I don't have to explain nothing to you. The reason why I'm telling you all is because I want y'all to know that, this is what it is. Like, it's not in a sense like, and people are just taking things out of context. Oh my gosh, he needs counseling. He needs to go see a therapist. Like, all type of crazy stuff. And it's like, y'all are out of y'all mind. Like, and these were kids most of the time. As far as, like, I could tell they were kids because it was some of the responses. They were kids because it's like, and what made it even worse is that most of the comments, of course, were from, the black community, and it was not, but you had some people that was there that were like, what are y'all talking about? They didn't say anything wrong. So there were a good handful of people who were on me and Darren's side. But it wasn't like, we didn't make that video for people to choose sides. We just made that video to tell it how it is. We didn't make that video to put our community down, to make it seem like, because the last comment I saw, I forgot what it was, because people still are commenting on that video. They said something about, so what do you think about, I think he said Idris Elba and Michael B. Jordan. And I said to myself, I'm like, by all means, both of them are attractive. There's not like, what do you think I'm going to say, they're ugly? No, both, they're very attractive. They just don't do anything for me is what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think that's the unique thing. That's what I love about our community, because you have people who love different things. Like, for instance, there's a friend of mine who's black. He loves, we call them bears, because, there's a whole animal kingdom in the community. Right. He likes bears. Like, and he's a skinny guy. Like, he's a skinny black guy, but he loves, like, big guys. Like, so it's like, in a sense, why can't people love who they want to love and we be happy for them? That's what we're all about, being happy and supportive of one another. But then you have some people who are just like, they just want to shut you down. They don't want to be happy for you. They want to try to find every excuse in the book. Oh, this is why he doesn't like black people. And it's like, it baffles me a lot. And it just got to the point because somebody wanted me to make another video about it. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, why would I? No. Like, for what? Because the same thing is going to happen. Like, what else do I need to explain in the sense that I didn't get? Because that was a long video. What else didn't I explain in that video? I'm curious. If I didn't explain anything in that video, I'm curious. Because if I didn't, I will make another video, if I didn't be specific. And it'll just be me talking. I won't even have anybody else there. But it's like, what else do I honestly need to explain? So it's just, overall, it's just crazy. I mean, I've been getting crap about that ever since. It kind of died down until we made that video, because, I mean, I got it a little bit when I first came out. But as the years went by, people was like, okay, it is what it is. And now that video's gotten brought up, now people are starting to talk about it again. So it's like, I don't mind making another video. It's just what do I need to talk about specifically? What do I need to explain? Like, I'm curious. If you have something, like, you personally think that I didn't, like, explain enough or say this and say, I will. Like, I'll be like, okay, well, if I didn't explain, I will talk about that. But it's like, I felt like, damn, like, I got to explain. First of all, I got to explain who I love. Like, or I'm not love, attracted to. I have to explain that. Yeah. Why do I have to explain that to people who I don't even know? Like, I don't get it.
No,
like, it's just like, yeah, like, I don't even know half these people. But I have to explain myself? Nah, y'all crazy. Y'all out y'all mind. I don't know who y'all think I am. Like, y'all. Anyway, but yeah, that was crazy. But I expected that. I knew that was gonna come with the video, so it wasn't like a shock that people like blew up like that. So, but it was interesting. I would say that it was interesting. People were showing the true colors. That's for sure.
It brings up the conversation as you were talking about your friend that's attracted to bears in the community. It brings up a conversation because I was having a conversation with somebody that they felt like if they're transgender and if a guy wasn't attracted to them, then he had hatred for the transgender community. And what I was trying to explain to them, yes, there are some that do have hatred for the transgender community, but just because somebody's not attracted to, it's absolutely crazy. But just because somebody's not attracted to a certain type of person doesn't mean that they hate you. It just means that that's not their preference. It doesn't do it for them. It'll do it for somebody else, but it doesn't do it for them. And I think that sometimes some people have taken, preference and thought of it as, like you said with y'all, that it was like he hates this. I read one that was like they hate themselves. How can you sit up and just hate yourself? I'm sitting thinking, what?
And now that we're talking about it, you are really tempting me to do another video because it's almost like I will not go by everything what people said, but like it's like how specific do I have to be? Like I'm like the fact that anyone would even discredit my love for my community is by all means outrageous. Like I don't like how could y'all sit up there and say y'all support the LGBT community when y'all basically shutting people down and not respecting people? We just like I told you before, we already have to go through enough as it is.
Enough.
But people are already like y'all not understanding it. And it just comes with immaturity. A lot of these people that are saying those comments are just immature, flat out immature.
Absolutely.
Like, and I call every last one of them, y'all immature. Like, it's like, come on, how could y'all, like, what? Like, I need to see a therapist. I need counseling for what? Like, I don't. Just I'm sure there are a lot of comments that I missed. I'm sure there is, but because I didn't read all of them, to be honest, because I just it wasn't. I didn't felt that it was worth me reading, to be honest. So I'm sure there were a lot of comments. I read enough. Let's just say that I read enough. But you're really tempting me to do a part 2 on my own to really like, in a sense, like, okay, this is what it is type of thing. Like I don't, but it'll be something that I'll think about. But I'm definitely, now you're having me more interested in wanting to do a part 2. I'm definitely thinking about it. I'm definitely thinking about it.
I mean, because to me, at the end of the day, everybody should be free enough to be in a relationship with, love whoever it is that they are attracted to and desire to be with. As long as that, they're sharing that mutual. I was thrown by a lot of it, like, because I'm just thinking, like, here we are, sometimes we say we want people to be real and to be honest and express themselves, and then we almost set ourselves back 2 steps because once somebody expresses themselves, we're trying to dissect it and make it something that it clearly wasn't. I thought the video was great. It gave great content and a great message, and I feel like it helped people that were in similar situations with y'all that at many times are hesitant and some even fearful of speaking up about it because they know what the backlash would be.
Right. Yeah.
So
no, that's why nobody wants to talk about it, just for that specific reason.
Right. So, if you do another part of it, I'll definitely be tuned in.
Actually, I might do it as soon as I get off the phone with you. Now you got me, and then not even worked up, but it's more like it's a lot that, because it's just me talking now. It's going to be all raw and uncut. I'm not cutting anything. Like I'm telling it how it is, and I'm responding to certain things. But like the fact that anyone would even, like, I'm always the type, you got to let everything go in one ear and out the other. But I still feel that there's a little unfinished business on my end of it to really, like, okay, if they don't get it this time, then they never going to get it. Like, to be honest with you. Like, because the fact that I'm even about to take time to, like, even make a video, another one of these videos, if they don't get it this time, then they don't get it. To be honest, I would not do another video like this. So,
and if they don't get it this time, they don't want to get it. That's the reality of it.
Yeah,
like,
they don't.
If we want to get it, we'll get it. If we don't want to get it, we'll never get it. It's like listening from a place of reasoning and understanding. When you listen from a place of reasoning and understanding, you may not agree, but you begin to gain an understanding of, okay, that's what he meant by that. He didn't mean what I thought he meant or what my experience made me think that he meant. Okay, I get it now. But then there's going to be some who just aren't going to want to get it. And that's
it's like
okay.
The fact that people would even question, like they always want to keep saying why. Well, why aren't you physically attracted to this person? Why aren't you? I can't answer that. I don't know. I just am.
Right.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, what do you mean why?
Mm.
Sometimes there is no why. It is what it is. Like, it's like the fact that you try to keep. Yeah, the fact that you try to keep. Oh yeah, what is like? Why? Well, why are you like? No, that's it. Like, there's nothing else to explain by all means. But I'm definitely glad that I came back on, because at first I wasn't gonna do another video, but I felt that I needed to. And I need to, because I feel that it's a lot of unfinished business, and it's a lot that me personally, now that there's no Darren Young, it's just me, it's a lot that I need to say. Like, the fact that people are even, like, trying to question my commitment. And just as I said, the fact it's not about proving a point, it's just me. Like, it's just unfinished business. I would just say that. Just unfinished business. Stuff that need to be talked about. And after that, there'll be, like, if they don't get it, then they never going to get it, just like you said.
Yeah.
So I'm actually excited. I'm more excited than anything else. Like,
Got you.
Definitely excited about that.
Okay. All right, so now what is in the future as far as with your YouTube channel and the videos you're shooting? Because I noticed, I guess during the quarantine time, I see you doing a little singing, you're doing a little dancing. It's like, you're adding more. Yeah, I saw it. You're adding more content to the channel. Is that you showing us, more different sides of you? And is that something we should expect more on your channel? Or?
Well, to be honest, like, that channel was really, it was a gaming channel. I'm going to be so honest with you. That channel was not to be anything as far as, like, vlogs about me. It was strictly a gaming channel. But I remember, I streamed a lot, because if you go back to my very first couple videos with me, it was a lot of streams. But I remember there were a couple times when I would just be posting videos as far as just, like, people wanting to know more about me. It's almost like you got to give the people what they want. Like, a lot of people are so interested in my story. It baffles me sometimes. Like, and it's very flattering, but and especially now, like, my subs and everything have skyrocketed, since this quarantine, and even the last couple, like, every video after that video with me and Darren Young, and just how I saw that, how, people were just like, oh my gosh, like, I love your videos, do more. Like, it's just, honestly, it was like, okay, like, now, If I do play, it's probably gonna be rare if I do play a video game, because now it's gonna be more for like videos like that, like with me and Darren Young and stuff like that. So it'll mainly be like vlogs, but the dancing and stuff like that, that's more for me putting on my social media to keep people in a good mood. You know, I'm all about inspiring. I'll absolutely love helping people. I do, and you know, I wish I can help just about everyone. And even if it's, you know, making a fool of myself to make somebody smile, I'll do it. Or singing or whatever it may be. So it's all about, you know, at a time like this, you know, you have to, you know, be silly, you know, you have to, you know, laugh and joke, because you can, especially now, like we all know, like I know, even when I'm making those videos, I clearly know that, yes, what we're going through now is boring. I do, but I'm not going to put my focus to that. So that's why, you know, lately I've been just doing a lot of, you know, funny stuff and just, you know, things that are, you know, entertain people per se. So, but as far as the YouTube stuff, it'll mainly, like, I will keep it more towards that, and, you know, whatever the people want to hear, I'll give it to them. And for what it sounds like, you know, I think people want to hear a part two, because I remember my mother and brother called me, and there was a guy on he made a whole YouTube video about me talking about, I don't know, responding to the video, and they want a response and all of it. So I know people want a response in a way, but I honestly just been like, nah, like enough is enough, like stop it. I wasn't honestly going to do another video until we had this conversation, and it started to make me think even more that I think this is the perfect time to, and there's nothing going on right now either. It's a perfect time, perfect time, you know. So. Yeah, and I'm curious because I did it a little differently the last time. I'm curious to see how crazy it was. I'm not going to post it on my social media. The only thing I'm going to post it on is on my YouTube channel. I'm curious to see how crazy it will do if it's just posted on my my YouTube channel. I'm curious. I'm super curious. I think by all means it'll still do the same, because people will just share it and all of that stuff. So I don't think.
Well, yeah, it's
like
it's gonna get clarity because people have been waiting for it.
Yeah, it's still gonna get the same, like regardless of if I post it on social media. So it's like, I'd rather, I'm curious what the response will be, but and because sometimes what I do, I will upload a video at night. Meaning, like, around this time, I won't even, like, there have been plenty of times I upload a video. Like, you know, people like to post stuff. Let me post stuff at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And, like, I'm not really, like, to me, I think that, honestly, I understand what they're doing because when people are awake, but I'm like, at the end of the day, people going to see it regardless of, you know, whether they sleeping and whatever what time you post it. So I may hit people with that midnight drop tonight. I don't know. That's what it's looking like, because I'm curious when I post it tonight, then when I get up and then I check and then, you know, see what people talking about. If I do post it on social media, it'll be on my story on Instagram. But other than that, it won't be anywhere else. It'll just be on my story. So, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Now that you got me excited, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Good. I'm definitely going to be looking forward to the video. I'm subscribed, so I'm going to get the notification when it's posted so I can watch it. And I'm interested to see.
It's not up there within the next hour.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm moving quick like that. It's a lot of stuff on my mind.
That's what's up. I'm glad that the conversation, you know, stimulated that.
You inspired me.
For you to really do it. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So now, listen, we're at the end of the conversation. It has gone fast again. This was a two-part interview, two-part conversation. I look at it more as a conversation. What is one thing you want to leave our listening audience with?
Well, especially throughout this time, you know, everyone, you know, continue to, you know, stay safe, stay healthy, you know, keep practicing social distancing. But once all this is over with, you know, everyone continue to keep, you know, chasing after your dreams, whatever it may be, you know. Don't settle. Don't let anyone try to steer you into something that you don't fully have your heart in. Whatever you have your heart in, pursue that, and the sky's the limit. So.
Awesome. Now, I also want you to let people know how they can connect with you in case some people missed part one of the interview. Let them know your social media handles.
The best way to contact me, two best ways, is on my Instagram, which is It's Derrick Gordon. And with two R's, because I know people spell it D-E-R-E-K, so it's I-T-S, Derrick, D-E-R-R-I-C-K, Gordon. It's Derrick Gordon. And my Twitter is Flash2Gordon, the number 2. Like, don't spell out the number 2, just put Flash2Gordon. That's my Twitter. But the best place I say, just, send me a DM, either on Twitter or Instagram. I'm always on there. I'm always checking. And even before I got on here to do this interview, there are always people, still reaching out to me, asking me questions about how I can help them and, the coming out process and stuff. So if you have any questions, those are the best two places to contact me.
All right. Listen, guys, you heard it again. Part 2 of the interview. I encourage you once again, connect with Derrick. Look at everything he has going on. I know he has some things coming up after we're finished with everything that we're finished with. But make sure you also check out his YouTube channel as well. But thank you guys for listening. There would be no show without you guys. There'd be no purpose in me getting on here. So I appreciate the love, the support, the feedback, everything that you guys have done. You are the driving force behind this show. Derrick, again, thank you for joining us. We'll be back here on the 20th. We have another amazing guest. Guys, as I always say, before that, make sure, if you haven't heard some of the interviews on this show, you visit www.cliftonpettyjohn.com. Scroll down, you'll see Transformation Radio has all of our interviews that we've done so far. All right? As I always say, create a great day, walk with purpose, and by all means, execute your vision. Peace.
Yes.
Can you identify any areas in your life where stagnation is manifesting? Now, I know some of you might say, no, I can't. Well, I want us to look at stagnation for what it really is. Some people have identified stagnation as something that's not growing or that's not producing. I don't believe that's stagnation. To me, stagnation can also be that, yes, we're growing, yes, we're producing. However, we're growing and producing in a manner that's disrespectful to the purpose and the greatness that resides inside of us. And listen, we all have areas where we can identify that we could be doing a lot better in. There's greater potential in those areas than we are experiencing. And guess what? I have a tool that will help you begin to experience transformation in those areas of stagnation in your life. And that tool is called From Stagnation to Transformation. That's right. That is my book, From Stagnation to Transformation. So I want you to head over to my website, www.cliftonpettyjohn.com. I want you to hit there. I want you to hit the Transformation tab. There you're going to find a free preview of my book. That's right, a free preview of my book. And I promise you, after you read the preview, you're going to want to invest in your personal transformation through purchasing the book. So again, head over there, purchase the book. Let me know you purchased it. Here's what I always say, guys. If you purchase the book, you read the book, you apply the principles in your life, and yet you still are stagnant in the areas that you are applying them to, and you're not experiencing any transformation, and you can prove to me that you have applied these principles, I will give you a 100% refund. That's right, a 100% refund. Why? Because I believe in the application of the principles that are outlined in this book. So again, visit www.cliftonpettyjohn.com and purchase your copy of From Stagnation to Transformation.